every industry, every job site, any challenge. Purple Wave's upcoming December 5th construction auction has the Caterpillar equipment to tackle it all. We make it easy to connect, inspect, and bid, ensuring you can find the right equipment that's ready to go to work for you. The equipment is ready to inspect at our partner Copart's yard in your area. Bidding ends December 5th at purplewave.com. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment. purplewave.com.
Got a hot and heavy holiday on your mind? Lovers has the perfect pleasure presents with early Black Friday deals that will get you off the naughty list this year. Save up to 60% on the sexiest holiday gifts. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Black Friday week is here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the kitchen, like appliances and cookware. You'll have money left over for a sauce pot, so you can make your mom's famous gravy recipe.
Yuck.
Or at least try to. Or that cutlery set, so you can carve up the turkey with surgical precision. Oh, what fun it is to save. Black Friday week is here with deals up to 35% off.
Places, please. The Daly Migs Show is on deck. Guitars plugged in. Drums ready to go. Chickens.
They're clucking.
Other animals. And action.
This is the Daly Migs Show on The Rock with Taryn Daly and Steve Migs.
While listening to the Daly Migs Show, please refrain from any unnecessary finger gesturing.
99.9 KISW.
Good morning, Rockaholics. Happy Thirsty Thursday. And in honor of Thirsty Thursday, Steve Migs, Danny, Sarah, I wanted to tell you guys about a random act of kindness that happened at my house yesterday.
Uh-oh, you let somebody else move in with you.
I am part of this wine club, and I knew that I was getting my shipment yesterday, but you have to have someone there present, 21 years of age, to take ID, sign for it, all that good stuff.
So you put a mustache on Barrett and say, answer the door for me, baby.
Exactly. So I pull up to my house when I get home yesterday, and I see that there's the, sorry we missed you FedEx thing, and I'm like, dang it. I really wanted that wine today.
Okay.
And so I grab the thing off the door. I unlock my door. I go inside. All of a sudden, I hear this FedEx truck pulling back down the driveway. He saw me drive down the driveway. He did a U-turn and brought the wine back.
But that's impressive.
And then he said, most delivery drivers wouldn't do this. And I said, well, you're not like most delivery drivers.
I was going to say, my FedEx driver won't even make it up to the top of my house. Like, he just leaves it at on the grass practically. In the front yard is figure it out yourself. I'm not walking up those steps.
Oh,
that's
man.
impressive.
He went the extra mile. I was very happy. I drank some wine last night. Feeling great today.
I'm such an idiot. When you said you were part of a wine club, I thought it was like a book club. And I'm like, that just sounds like most afternoons for you where you get together with your friends and sample wine. No, it's like a mail-in.
Yeah, you get it a couple times a year. You get your big shipment. You get 12 bottles. 12 bottles 4 times a year. It was awesome.
So are they bottles that are you familiar with the brands, or are they just random ones from all across the world?
It's pretty much random ones from all across the world, but you can choose red, all red, all white, or a mix, and I always go all red. Yeah, I'm a red wine girl.
And if you like something, can you say, hey, I want more of these?
Absolutely. You can leave all sorts of, comments in your membership. Cool. It's great. It's wonderful. Huh. So shout out to the FedEx driver that hooked it up yesterday.
I wonder if he knew there was wine in that. He's like, I bet she needs this.
Oh, he absolutely knew there was wine in it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because it's got a label on it and everything. It says the name of the wine club, so he knew.
Was he hoping maybe you would hook him up with a bottle?
Probably for your time today,
right?
Sir. Oh, it is time to inform the Rockaholics.
Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Today it's National Men Cook Dinner Day.
What's on the menu, Steve?
Nothing that I'm making. You don't want me cooking dinner. Actually, I've gotten better. I could cook up some pretty decent tamales.
Oh, nice.
But did I ever tell you the time that I tried to impress with my then girlfriend, now wife? I was like, she's coming over. I'm like, I'll cook dinner.
Oh, no.
And so I had like a cookbook in my house, and I'm like paging through it trying to find something. I come across a dish called African chicken. And I'm like, this sounds exactly like something I should be making. And because it had peanut butter in it. And so I'm like cooking this chicken, and I had a slather peanut butter on it. And let's just say we ended up getting to go. I was like, look, babe, I made it. And she was so excited because she's like, this is so sweet. I really don't like chicken. Just before she was vegan. And then she took one bite of it. She's like, is that peanut butter on this? I'm like, yeah.
African style.
I was like, yeah, you know me. I'm good with my African dishes.
So was it bad because you were a bad cook, or was it she just didn't like the way that it turned out?
Yes.
Okay.
Because then I took a bite of it, Danny. I said, you know what? Pizza, sushi, Thai, what do you want?
Oh, Danny's beautiful.
Now, Danny's a better cook than I am.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
I feel like Danny's a really good cook. Every time I hear what you make for dinner, I'm like, can I be invited?
He's always
funny.
making some kind of a steak dish.
It's funny because, like, my girlfriend used to be the cook in our house, but now she works really late, and so she doesn't get home till 8:15 every night. So she's like, well, you're cooking. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I guess I'll have to cook again tonight. Tortellini soup.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right. Crock pot?
No. Yeah, I have to do all the ingredients.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. He's fancy.
Sorry, I would use a crock pot. I used the crock pot to make the African chicken. I really did.
You said it and forget it for too long.
I think my wife wished I would have just forgot it completely and just got us some Trapper sushi.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it was bad. All right, today, actually, this entire month they're calling Exploding Whale Month to celebrate Exploding Whale Day. It all stems from... Do you remember? Okay, it happened in Oregon. What was it? Florence, Oregon, back in 1970 on November 12th. I'm not expecting you to remember when it officially happened, but it's like one of those things, those stories that is like lives on in infamy.
Totally.
It was about, there was a giant whale that was on the beach in Oregon. So they all decided, you know what's the best way to get rid of this? By exploding it. And put a bunch of, it's dead already.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, it's already dead. It was a carcass. That would be very weird. They're like, how do we get this whale that's still alive? Feed it some explosive. Let's see what happens. Well, I ended up exploding it, but all the chunks flew everywhere. It was like a giant disaster. It was just a huge mess. Here's the news report from back in 1970 when they first blew it up.
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing so the scavengers, seagulls, and crabs and whatnot can clean it up. Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere.
This is the greatest thing. They're like, oh yeah, we'll just blow it up. And all the birds, they'll just eat it. It'll be great. It'll be like a great dinner for them.
What a fun idea.
A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
Oh, I bet it smelled great, too.
So, hey, happy Exploding Whale Month to all of you. I don't know how you plan on celebrating, but probably don't blow up a whale.
No thanks. A Seattle man is going viral for being arrested while dressed up as a dinosaur. He was arrested for burglary after breaking into a building and stealing some packages. Inside Edition ended up picking up the story and reported on it.
Authorities in Washington state received calls at around 3 a.m. about a person breaking into a building and stealing packages. The suspect wasn't hard to find. He was dressed as a green dinosaur.
The male in the dinosaur suits at Olive and Broadway.
Olive and Broadway.
I thought it was going to be one of those like inflatable dinosaurs. No, he's in like a onesie.
It's like one, yeah, exactly. It looks like a dinosaur pajamas that you would get at like a Target.
I was hoping it was going to be like Rex from Toy Story, but no. Just a dinosaur onesie.
Yeah, we're in the news for something on a national level for something as stupid as that. Hey, tonight we got Thursday Night Football. You can watch the Baltimore Ravens. I wonder what the men's room are going to be doing tonight.
Oy.
I wonder how hungover they're going to be tomorrow.
A lot.
They're taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. That's happening at 5:15. You can watch that on Amazon. Maybe, Danny, well, you're already making dinner for Men Cook Dinner Day. Yeah. So there you go. You can enjoy it that way. As far as weather, we're hitting a high of 57 degrees. It's going to be cloudy today. The DMD is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above, and that's what's up.
Yesterday, I had to have a very tough and emotional chat with my 5-year-old son, and it's one that no parent wants to have, especially at that age. I'll tell you about it at 6:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet and the not-so-secret secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout experience as business powerhouses like Aloe, Allbirds, and Skims. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Tomorrow at this time, Rockaholics, Al Petrelli of Trans-Siberian Orchestra will join the Daly Migs Show. And we are so excited because the Lost Christmas Eve tour is coming to Climate Pledge Arena on Saturday, November 23rd.
And all week we're giving them away during Hook or Shook at 9:20 every morning. And every morning you have a chance to sit real close. This morning at 9:20, opportunity to sit in the second row.
That is right. And they've got 2 shows on the 23rd, 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. I'm a little touch and go this morning because yesterday I had to have a pretty grown-up conversation with my 5-year-old. What happened was we got an email from his school saying that there was a safety concern, and I opened the email and I immediately started reading that it involved a bus route, and the bus route was Barrett's bus.
Okay.
And they said in the email that there were 5 bullets found in a bus seat, and some kids brought those to the bus driver. We learned that when the bus arrived at Barrett's school, that the staff and faculty came onto the bus and did like a safety check, and there was no other concerns found, but that this same student that brought the bullets onto Barrett's bus had brought a couple bullets into the classroom, the day before as well.
Do you know, was he trying to show off the bullets? I don't know if you get that kind of information. Was he just like, oh, these are at our house, I'm going to show these to everybody? Was it an innocent thing?
I like to believe that.
I hope it is.
That's what I like to believe, but it did lead to me having to have a very grown-up conversation with my 5-year-old that I was not prepared to have. And I know that we're living in a time now where they do active shooter trainings at schools of all levels, and that's something I didn't grow up with.
No.
And so I knew that this day would come. It hit me like a ton of bricks yesterday, and so when Barrett did get off the bus yesterday, I asked him, I said, was there a kid that got in trouble on your bus today? And he said, yeah. And I said, do you know what happened? And he said, yeah, he brought bullets. And I just, I was trying to hold it together because I didn't even know if he knew what a bullet was.
Yeah. I don't think Tatum even has any idea. Like when you sent the text out to tell us everything that was going on, I'm just like trying, because we have kids that are pretty close to the same age, and I'm like, man, I don't even think.
Oh, and so then I asked him, I said, do you know what a bullet is? Do you know what it does? And so then we had to get into this conversation about guns, and I just said to him, if you ever see something, you have to tell an adult. And that's what happened yesterday. And the kids on your bus told an adult. And so we started listing off, what are some adults in your life that you could tell if you saw something that was a little scary or you knew wasn't right? And he said, the bus driver, the lunch assistant, my teacher, my mom, da-da-da. And
were you upset that you were third on the list?
I think I honestly was maybe fourth. It was pretty. He was saving the best for last.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't even be on the list. Like, I feel like she would tell DJ and Lulu our dogs before she even told me.
Gosh.
I feel like I'm very low on the totem pole. So,
well, we have that in common, Steve.
Oh my gosh!
And just talking because like my household, we're not a gun owning home,
right?
But a lot of people that live near me are, and that's totally fine. And we had a conversation about hunting because we've had family members that have hunted and things like that. So we were just talking about gun safety and where guns belong. You know, they have to be locked up, and people have to keep their ammunition stowed away and out of the reach of kids. And it was really heavy. And the second that we finished the conversation, I held it together. But the second we finished the conversation, I tagged Brad in, and I went upstairs and just was crying.
That was my question. I was like, so do you? So Brad was there. Do you guys have that chat beforehand? Like, figure out, okay, who's handling this? I mean, that sounds like a silly question, but I was thinking about all these things. I'm like, man, if I was in this situation, like, I almost be like, Sid, this is I'll be there to hold your hand. But I don't know. Like, I feel like you can handle this way better than I can.
So I handled the initial conversation, and then we kind of went back to like watching Dino Trucks or whatever the show was that we were watching, and then we kind of had like a follow up conversation because I wanted to make sure it really did sink in with him that like this was serious, and I just wasn't expecting to have that conversation with my kindergartner.
I'm sorry.
No, thank you. I appreciated the support from you guys yesterday.
Well, I feel bad because you sent the text yesterday.
Don't even shame me for having an Android, you guys.
I wasn't going to, but you sent a text with like a picture or a screenshot, but it never came through.
Me either.
So all that came through was like this weird follow-up panic text that was like giving like you're like, I meant to say this, but there were bullets, blah, blah. And I'm like, looking at this text, I'm like, is anyone going to say anything or is it going to have to be me? So all I wrote back was, huh? Like, what the F? And then you wrote back something like kind of abrupt. And I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Then you're like, well, I'll send it to you guys on Facebook Messenger. And then you sent what the story was. And I was like, oh, I just feel like a D-bag.
By the way, thank God for Facebook Messenger. How else would we ever communicate?
Well, and later I read...
yeah, your Android sucks.
Well, for me, the screenshot came up. And then I read it because I didn't see it till later. And then Steve you put emojis. You put the laughing, crying, like, emoji. And I was like, oh my God, this is the worst thread to have an emoji right now. You're like, what are you talking about, crying, laughing emoji? I was like, oh no, Steve.
Well, because, okay, in all fairness, to me, all I saw was I should say brought bullets into a classroom, not bees, but ride the same bus. That was the text that I got with no other context. So, of course,
very confusing.
I just wrote, maybe you were enjoying a little too much wine. And I was like, I just thought, okay, this is a crazy woman that's just trying to text us. And I thought that was hilarious.
And you added the emoji.
Yes.
But I just want to say that, if anybody else out there has had this conversation, like I just feel for you. And if you're anticipating having this conversation, it's a hard
I can't
one.
even. I honestly, like, there are moments where I look at Tatum and I'm just like that. I joke about I want to just hit pause and have her not get any older. But part of it is because I just don't want to see her go off to school and have to be on a bus and be. I mean, she's doing preschool, but it's pretty low maintenance. It's a couple days a week for a couple of hours. Like, I'm just not ready for that. I mean, I know we have to do that. That's just the life that we live. Like, you can't just you can't live in fear your entire life as a parent. But I'm still just not yet ready for that. Can I have at least like 10 or 15 more years of her being 4?
Could I have had a couple more hours to even prep myself? Like, it was crazy,
Yeah.
but I'm you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's out now. So,
and sometimes though, like when you don't have time to think about it, I think you handle it better because you don't have to you're not overthinking it. It's just like, I need to just kind of come up with a plan, get it out, and have that conversation.
So have you been through something like this, Rockaholics? Curious, how did you handle it? 206-803-ROCK. Give us a call and we will chat with you after Blind Melon.
The Daily Migs Show.
Yesterday, I ended up having to have a talk about guns with my 5-year-old because bullets were found on the school bus that he rides, and it was a very heavy, unexpected conversation.
Well, it's kind of like a double down, like not just a conversation about guns, but then also like, hey, the fear of being at school when someone might have a gun.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we wanted to know, Rockaholics, if you have been through something like this, how did you handle it? You can give us a call at 206-803-ROCK. Amy in Renton, you also had to have a talk last night with your kid. What was that about?
Oh my gosh. So good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
I got a phone call at work yesterday from the principal, and it started with my younger daughter, elementary school daughter, had found a note on the playground that said, "I'm going to get you all," and it had a picture of like a very basic stick figure child, but with crossed out eyes. And it was written in childish handwriting. The playground teacher found it, asked my daughter about it. My daughter said, "Oh, I don't know. I found it under my pillow." And she gets pulled in the principal's office. I get called. My daughter tried blaming it on her younger sister. Oh, maybe my sister wrote it. And it turned into this, like, big ordeal. And I get home, and I had to sit him down and figure out what was going on. And it turned out, thankfully, to be a very innocent thing. She has 2 other friends that are kind of spooky girls and into ghosts and mysteries and, like, all of the spooky things. And her friends had been saying that they were finding notes in their bedrooms and in the walls of their house and, like, this innocent child play. And my daughter was trying to fit in.
Oh, okay. So she's just trying to be silly with them.
Yeah, but instead of being honest about it, it looked like a school death threat.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so I had to sit both my kids down and talk about the severity of this very innocent note for a spooky game and how it could be misconstrued and why it is so important. And I ended up showing them, and this might have been overkill, but this isn't something we can play around with. I showed them some news clippings or like news footage of some school shootings, and I was like, this is why it's so important. Like, this is not a fun thing. It's not an innocent note. Like, I understand you were just trying to play with your friends, but this is a big deal, you guys.
Yeah.
And how'd she react to that?
She was crying, and there was no, like, this was a very calm discussion. I wasn't yelling or angry. It was very much I love you to pieces, and I know that this was innocent, but here's why this is so big. And she cried, and she felt horrible, and she was going to go to school today. And on her own accord, she wanted to apologize to the teacher and apologize to the principal. She was a really good kid, but I don't think it's anything we'll ever have to worry about again. But
No.
I was not prepared for that.
You know, I think about
I feel for you.
Yeah, you did good too, Amy. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. And I'm sorry you had to go through it.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I don't think my parents ever had any serious conversations with me about anything.
Nope.
I'm trying to think about even the sex talk.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
And I'm just like, man. When you hear that story, I'm like, I don't think we ever had, even if there's any ordeals that, even when I got older, they would avoid serious conversations. They would just be like, when we found out something awful happened to one of my best friends and he was in the middle of trying to handle that, with an old hockey coach, it was very gnarly. Even when I talked to my mom, she's like, did you hear what happened to Christopher? And I'm like, yeah, I did. She's like, that's crazy. I'm like, yes, it's very crazy. His coach was an awful person. That went on for years. It's wrecking me. And she's like, well, how's the weather out there? And I'm like, well, can we keep talking about the serious stuff for a second?
I mean, I guess we come from a different time. Now it's I feel like kids are so much more open and honest with their parents now than we ever were.
I will say, for myself, communication wise with Lily, she's 10 and, going to be 11 next year. And it's one of those, she's had conversations with me that I don't necessarily know that I was ready for yet, of just oh yeah, Dad, this is going to happen to me when I, turn a teenager and this, that, and the other. And I was like, wow, you were just very open to sharing. And but I appreciate it because at that point, you know what? The same way with you guys, I didn't have any conversations like that when I was growing up and I had no idea what was going on. I remember going to my mom and being like, Mom, is there supposed to be hair in there's different places? And I just remember her response to me was, well, there better be, or you're pretty weird. And that was the sex talk.
Good talk, Mom.
It's like, how do you have those? No, but not at least.
So that's why whenever you see a girl, you just go up to her and go, hey, I'm not weird. I have hair in certain places.
That's how we first met, Steve. So
it's an icebreaker.
Yeah. It was a great icebreaker. That's for sure. I worry that my kid will come up to me about something serious. I'm like, hold on, Tim. I'm right back. And I'll quickly pull out my phone and chat GBT and have the robots give me a good way to handle this.
That's not a bad idea.
Right.
Let's have the robots on our side.
How do I have the talk with my daughter?
Oh, gosh.
Rockaholics, how would you like a shot at beating Steve Migs? He has a record of 311 wins, 93 losses, and 55 ties in 2024. 206-803-ROCK. We will play Beat Migs at 6:50.
The Daily Migs Show.
Looking to turn up the heat in your relationship this holiday? Lovers has the perfect pleasure presents with early Black Friday deals that are as nice or as naughty as you are. Save up to 60% on the sexiest holiday gifts. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Every industry, every job site, any challenge. Purple Wave's upcoming December 5th construction auction has the Caterpillar equipment to tackle it all. We make it easy to connect, inspect, and bid, ensuring you can find the right equipment that's ready to go to work for you. The equipment is ready to inspect at our partner Copart's yard in your area. Bidding ends December 5th at purplewave.com. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment. purplewave.com.
Black Friday week is here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday athletic gifts, like bikes, tents, and outdoor gear. You'll have money left over for a premium yoga mat so you can try to touch your toes by New Year's. Almost there. Or snowshoes so you can hike to your super secret spot to find the perfect tree. Aha! Oh, what fun it is to save. Black Friday week is here with deals up to 35% off.
The Daly Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Jill from Montreal is. Jill, are you there?
I'm here.
Montreal?
Yeah.
Dude, I went to Plattsburgh, which is right under Montreal in New York. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was at the Kraken game last week.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Buddy Jill, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, I know him. You know.
I'm like, I don't. Sorry, Jill, if I met you and I don't remember.
And my dork ass, as soon as you say Montreal, I'm like, I think of Club Super Sex, which is like their.
What?
It's like the.
Unfortunately, it's closed.
No. It's like Disney World of strip clubs. Like It was.
Wait, why did it
go
close?
there for the buffet.
Well, there was
yeah.
a buffet of
Women?
food? Or, females.
Yes, all of the above.
Wow, I'm jealous I never
This
went.
place would have commercials running all the time in Plattsburgh, and it was just like, finally we went there, and I'm like, it's like Mecca. You're just like, this is the most magical place in the world.
You're like, am I in heaven now?
Yeah.
All right, Steve, it's time for you to get out of here.
It was like a go-to when you're in college.
I love it. For those playing at home, Jill has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's go.
How many signs are there in the zodiac?
12.
Correct. Which of Shakespeare's plays is the longest?
Macbeth.
No.
Romeo and Juliet.
No.
Much Ado About Nothing.
No. The 2 juices in a cosmopolitan cocktail are cranberry and what?
Orange.
No.
Lemon.
No.
Lime.
Yes. Lamar Jackson is the current quarterback for what NFL team?
The Ravens.
Yes. According to Google, the most intelligent breed of dog is what?
Saint Bernard.
No.
Pass.
Rage Against the Machine has the song titled Bulls on what?
Parade.
Yes. Hamburg and Frankfurt are cities in what country?
Germany.
Yes. Which Disney film features the song When You Wish Upon a Star?
Cinderella.
No.
Pass.
What is the largest type of deer?
Buck.
No.
Male.
No.
Pass.
Jill, you got 5 correct.
Let's go.
Oh, I love that enthusiasm.
I'm rooting for Canada.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've never been to Montreal, have you?
I have not.
I've been to Vancouver.
I've been all over BC, but that's as far as I've gone.
You need to come and visit.
I would love that. Show us around.
Even though there's not the Mecca strip club anymore, but
That's Club Super Sex, which is a very strange name to a club. When you think about it. It's very aggressive.
It's very aggressive. Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah! Club Super Sex.
How many signs are there in the zodiac?
12.
Correct. Which of Shakespeare's plays is the longest?
I'm going to go with Macbeth.
No.
Hamlet.
Correct. The two juices in a cosmopolitan cocktail are cranberry and what?
Cranberry and orange?
No.
Cranberry and apple?
No.
Cranberry and grape?
No. Lamar Jackson is the current quarterback for what NFL team?
Baltimore Ravens.
Correct. According to Google, the most intelligent breed of dog is what?
A poodle?
No.
Oh. A golden doodle.
No.
A St. Bernard.
No. Rage Against the Machine has the song titled Bulls on what?
Parade.
You know it. Hamburg and Frankfurt are cities in what country?
Germany.
Yes. Which Disney film features the song When You Wish Upon a Star?
Is that Pinocchio?
Wow, correct. What is the largest type of deer?
Reindeer.
No.
Elk.
No.
I don't know. Big deer.
No. Which two U.S. states don't observe daylight savings time?
Which, Arizona and Hawaii?
Yes.
And is it John Deere?
Wow. I should take away a point for that. But you ended up getting 7 correct, which is a win, 7-5. Sorry, Jill.
Good game, Steve.
Thank you, my friend.
One that he did correct that you did not. Oh, yeah. How could you forget your song?
You would never.
Is cranberry and lime.
Lime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever had a Cosmopolitan.
The beautiful, pretty pink drink in served in a martini glass? You've never had one?
Not that I know, unless we had one at like the radio convention when it was one of those like signature drinks at one of those parties that we went to.
Oh, you would love them.
Yeah?
Let's go get Cosmos after work today, guys.
I'm always down for a Cosmo.
We have a meeting with Castle right after. I'm sure we can take that meeting to the bar.
I think he'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
According to Google, the most intelligent breed of dog is?
I was going to guess like maybe an Australian Shepherd or something.
It's a Border Collie.
Border Collie.
Is that Lassie?
No.
I think it was.
I think Lassie's a collie, yeah.
Border Collie.
Yeah.
No, aren't Border Collie? I think she's a collie.
Yeah.
Lassie is a collie.
That's not a Lassie dog.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Both you and Jill did guess St. Bernard, though, which kind of surprised me. I didn't know they were so smart. And the largest type of deer, Taryn, you better get this.
Is it a mule deer?
It's a moose.
A moose is a deer?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Why do I have to
farm
get this?
girl are you?
I know, right? Yeah, because all my moose interactions I've had in my life living up north.
You don't have a pet moose?
Not yet.
I'm surprised you didn't have it. You haven't had an interaction with a moose, to be honest. Well, congrats, Steve, on beating Jill.
This is probably a really silly question, but we do that from time to time. Are you a huge fan of music, Rockaholics?
No.
If so, we have a simple question for you, but you have to call us now. 206-803-ROCK. And we promise it is a simple question. We just need you to call right now. 206-803-ROCK. We will take your calls after Green Day.
The Daily Migs Show.
A recent article was done about Chris Cornell, and in this article, they talk about the one album he claims he listened to more than any other. And it is a Pink Floyd record.
Pink Floyd.
Floyd.
I know he's covered some Pink Floyd in the past, but I don't know what I would have thought his answer would be, but I wasn't guessing Pink Floyd. I was thinking it was more of like, like a, I don't know, Bing Crosby kind of.
Oh, of course. In an interview from Rolling Stone many years ago, he said that it was their debut album, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, that he would just be constantly drawn back to and listen to over and over and over. He said he was 19 the first time he heard it and probably bought it like 5 times over the years in various forms, whether it was CD or vinyl.
Now, this is the Syd Barrett era of Pink Floyd. So was he discovering some hallucinogenics and also the music? Have you listened to that record?
Yeah.
Of course you have. Danny, why do I ask these questions? If it involves hallucinogenic type music, of course our friend Taryn, or if it involves hippie type music, our friend Taryn is.
Well, my son is named Barrett. I mean,
did you
not
name him
after Syd Barrett.
Oh, I was like, what? Mind blown. I had to find Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and I don't know any of the songs off of this. And there's a song that was, I guess, kind of sort of a single titled Flaming. Mm-hmm. Do you know that one?
I do.
All right, Dan, you ready for this one?
No.
I don't hate that song, though.
No, it's really dope.
I kind of want to listen to the rest of the record.
The simple question we will ask first to Zach in Redmond. What album do you think you've listened to more than any other?
Probably You Forgot It in the People by Broken Social Scene.
I've heard of the band. I don't think I've ever listened to their music.
Yeah, it's not really something you guys would play on the KSW, more like old school DN, but it's probably what I listen to the most.
Well,
who turned you on to that band?
I don't even know. Probably just listening to the end when I was
that's funny.
But
Well, right on, man.
Rock on, Zach. Jacob from Shelton, what is the album that you have listened to more than any other?
Probably Ride the Lightning from Metallica.
Nice.
Ooh, I was trying to think of like what was the album I listened to the most, and it might be Master of Puppets or Kill 'Em All by Metallica. I listen to those still to this day quite a bit.
Both solid.
Oh, yeah. All three of those records are fantastic.
Totally. Craig from Olympia, what is the album you think you've listened to more than any other?
Dark Side of the Moon.
There we go.
So were you much of a Sid Barrett Pink Floyd fan, or did you get more into them when Sid kind of went off into his own little world?
When he went off into his own little world. Pink Floyd, Rush, all that kind of progressive stuff.
Yeah, that's right, Craig.
Right up Taryn Daly's tree right there. What about you, Taryn?
Oh, honestly, 6th grade, I was all in on Tragic Kingdom from No Doubt. I listened to that so many times. I had to buy that CD multiple times. It's probably that. Even all these years later, I think I listened to Tragic Kingdom on repeat for like an entire year.
Wait, you've listened to that more than like Rush,
honestly,
Grateful
probably.
Dead,
yeah.
Sturgis, Hillbilly, whatever the hell his name is. Danny, what do you think it's Offspring? Ixnay on the Hombre?
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Dang. I thought you were going to say Americana, and I was going to have to be like, nope, it's Ixnay on the Hombre.
It's such a great record.
Well, and that was, I got into it because of Americana, went back and listened to Ixnay, and that album just was like, I got it just on repeat all the time.
I recently got on a little bit of an Offspring kick, and it's been, and I first started with the Essentials, and I just went straight to Ixnay. I'm like, this is the record I need to listen to.
So good.
Yeah. We've got Russ from Seattle. Russ, what is the album you've listened to more than any other?
I'm going to call Led Zeppelin number 4.
Yeah.
That's a solid choice as far as Zeppelin albums
It
go.
always blows me away.
You have Black Dog, you got Rock and Roll, you got Stairway to Heaven. Come on.
That's the right choice, I think.
And I think those guys were still in their 20s when that record came out.
Just a bunch of babies.
Which is kind of nuts that they put out that much stuff at such a young age.
Definitely. Joe Dredd, you're in Seattle. What is the album you've listened to more than any other?
All right. Are you guys ready to have your minds blown?
Because it's not Kiss?
That's right. Yeah, as a teenager, Kiss Alive would have been the one. But as a young adult, I could not get enough of the first Pretenders album.
Huh.
That came out of left field, Joe. I was not expecting that.
Oh, I love that album so much, and I love those songs. You can put on any song off that album, and I'm singing along, and if it's the right song, I might just tear up.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I totally expected it was going to be a Kiss. Here in the Kiss tribute band, you've been in Kiss tribute bands pretty much your entire life. I thought for sure it's going to be a Kiss record.
Forrest in Columbia City, the album you've listened to more than any other.
It's probably Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream.
It's
That's
a
a great
perfect
album.
record. From beginning to end, it's such a great record.
Nice choice, Forrest.
Although I just listened to, I never gave Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness much of a chance because it's a double record. And I just get turned off by records that are that long. But I was going on a long drive and I'm like, let me just listen to it. I was like, man, I did not give this record the respect it deserves. That's a great album.
Even the instrumental on that, the Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, is so beautiful.
Wait, did you tell us yours, Steve?
Well, I mean, of course, it's Pearl Jam.
10?
Oh, I thought it was going to be Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba, that's a close second. Just that song.
Was it 10 or Vitology for you?
Versus.
Oh, Versus.
The second record. Absolutely.
Oh
It could even be Nirvana's Nevermind. I went through, I'm trying to think about when I was in high school and college. I went through multiple cassettes of that because I wore it out so many times. So I had to go buy a new one. Then eventually got the CD, and then that I didn't wear out because it's a CD, but it was still kind of like, I listened to that album a lot.
He is a Grammy Award winner, and he is doing something beyond awesome and rocking for Seattle Children's Hospital tomorrow night. Mateo Messina will join us at 7:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and the not-so-secret secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned, and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout experience as business powerhouses like Aloe, Allbirds, and Skims. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Rockaholics tomorrow night at Benaroya Hall. Luma presents the Symphony of Wonder, and we have Seattle native composer and Grammy winner Mateo Messina in to talk about the event. Good morning, Mateo.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. It's really like the symphony of rock, man, because I feel like everything you do always rocks, even when you're putting together a symphony and doing these, you go to Benaroya Hall, you're expecting everything's like, fancy pants kind of thing, but you always have like these great rock bands that help out as well.
Yeah. I think it's just from playing in bands in the 90s here.
Yeah.
And then just kind of got in my veins. And I'll tell you something that fascinated me. I was in a rehearsal with the whole orchestra, and we're working on a tune. And at one point I just said to 80 musicians, I go, so who here knows Led Zeppelin's In the Light? And like 2 people raised their hands, and I was like, oh my God, this actually, I forgot.
Get out! I need new musicians.
But no, it's okay. I mean, it's blending 2 different worlds together, and it's such a fun combination because it brings so much energy in this massive feel.
I was going to say, it has to be fun to kind of break that stigma of symphony. Because, obviously, you've done it for so long. You've won awards for doing it. But then all of a sudden, you're like, no, I could still work Alice in Chains into this. Or in this case, I could work Thunder Pussy into this whole thing.
Yeah. It ends up being so much fun. I think people just, when you... what's the word I'm looking for? When you buck expectations. Mm-hmm. Like people think when they come to the symphony, I always remind people, I'm like, look, everyone's going to be dressed up. It looks nice. But imagine nobody's wearing shoes. That's the vibe of this concert. It always is. And so when you bring in like great bands and great artists, it doesn't matter what genre of music they come from. And I just happen to love rock. That's what I was raised on, and that's what I live, and that's in me. But it's putting the 2 together and then bringing like, you're going to hear Thunder Pussy. Imagine them singing, except for instead of maybe Whitney backing up Molly, now there are 200 singers across 3 choirs singing backup.
And I have to say, their new record, which is called West.
West is great.
I remember the first time I put it in and listened to it, I was just like, this is a classic. Like, I highly recommend anyone who's not heard Thunder Pussy's new record, West. It's from beginning to end is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's so freaking good.
How do you go about even putting something that massive together in a space like that? Because Benaroya is a big space, but with, you said over 200 singers from 3 choirs. How does that work?
The logistics?
Logistically.
Oh my God. I can't tell you how many phone calls I've had in the last few days. We're doing a dress rehearsal tonight, so we'll work on that as well.
No pressure. The show's tomorrow.
Like part of it is, no kidding. Part of it is just, you're trying to work out the choirs blending with the orchestra, blending with the band. But the other part of it literally is blocking. You're going, how do we get 100 people from this side of the stage to walk over on here and the other 100 to walk this way to land within 4 minutes, and then they start singing.
Unreal.
And Symphony of Wonder, it's happening tomorrow at Benaroya Hall. Tickets are available at lumaguild.org, and it's also for a great cause. And I was hoping you could talk about Seattle Children's and just the connection that you've had with them for so many years, and you've raised so much money for them.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. We have been doing this for 25 years. This is their 25th symphony, and we just crossed over raising $2 million for kids and families at Seattle Children's Hospital. And that's the entire purpose of this night every year. And what's so great is the audience feels it, and I love that we gather our community together to help others in our community. And I've worked with, I've been volunteering at the hospital since around 98, and I've been playing piano with kids, and we write songs about bees and dogs and farts. We forget about cancer for an hour. And then I've met families that actually end up using this fund. It's called Uncompensated Care that we raise money for, and also research. And it'll make sure that every kid and family that comes to the door gets help. And I've met families that have used it, and they've said things like, this has been a miracle, this saved us. So gathering a bunch of people, like a couple thousand people in our community, and just going, hey, we're going to have a great night, but also we're going to help people in our community. And then people have been so into it and embraced it. So this isn't about like my team, Jose and I and the Luma Guild and everybody involved. It's really about the 2,000 people that come to this show every year and have a blast, and everybody walks out. Like I said, people walk in not knowing what to expect. They're going to walk out, and they always say, I have no idea that's what I was coming to see. That's and so their cool. Hearts are always warm and big smile on their faces.
So will Thunder Pussy perform Bees and Dogs and Farts tomorrow?
Bees and dogs. And here's one of my favorite things. I'm not going to divulge exactly what we're going to play or anything, but when I sat down with them the first time, I'm like, so who are your influences? Who you want to, what do you love? And they're like, Zeppelin, James Bond, Elvis Presley, Queen. Like, they just went, and I'm like, James Bond? Like, so.
Like, you can work with that, right?
Yeah. And so we are going to work with that. There are going to be some hijinks tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, if people want to get tickets, they can head to lumaguild.org. And thank you so much for involving the Seattle Children's Organization in that, because I know you're a parent, Mateo. Steve and I both have kids. You always hope you never have to go there and do that thing, but knowing that we have that safety net here in Seattle is so huge. So the fact that you play such a big part in that is really special.
Absolutely. And thank you guys so much. It's always so much fun to come down here.
Awesome seeing you, my man.
All right, you too.
Thanks, Mateo. Now, for many rock fans, going to a symphony is an out-of-the-ordinary event to go to, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
But we want to know.
This one sounds awesome.
Yes. But we want to know, Rockaholics, 206-803-ROCK, what was the most out-of-the-ordinary event that you have ever been to? 206-803-ROCK. We will take your calls after Blink-182.
The Daly Migs Show.
What is the most out-of-the-ordinary event that you have ever been to? 206-803-ROCK. For Andy in Tacoma, it happened in Germany. What was this?
Yeah, in Munich, Germany, about 2006, I was at the unveiling of the very first 3D televisions.
Oh,
one
nice.
with glasses, one's without.
How did you end up there?
My wife's a professor at a university, and she was on a conference tour for communication and media, and we got invited to this unveiling. It was very cool.
Did they provide food?
Food and drink.
Nice. No, the 3D TVs, they didn't really take off, though, if I remember. I remember they were around for a minute, but I don't feel like anyone's getting 3D TVs anymore, are they?
No, I haven't seen one since, actually. They came on for about a year and a half, then they just disappeared because of the new technology.
Yeah, I guess. And also, I know somebody said without glasses, but I wouldn't want to just sit at home and put on 3D glasses and just watch TV that way. Yeah, that'd just be like, after a while, I'd be like, okay, I got a little bit of a headache.
What is the most out-of-the-ordinary event that you have been to? 206-803-ROCK.
I love this one. I went to a massive LARPing event where me and my friends, we stumbled upon it at a park in North Seattle. They were all working, we were all working off a hangover and thought it would be fun. Let me tell you something. It was one of the most fun events that I've ever done. I even got to kiss the hot-ass elf, so definitely a super awesome time. P.S. Them elves are freaks, LOL.
Ooh, I didn't know that about elves.
Mental note. Stay away from the elves. Someone said Cirque du Soleil. We went to Beatles Love. I hate the Beatles, and I had an awesome time.
I saw that 4 times before they closed down the Mirage.
So you went in Vegas?
Yes.
My wife and I guess that would be one for me. She always wanted to go to one of those Cirque shows. I'm like, I don't know. And we went to one, I think like it was at Marymore Park at the time. Blown away. I was like, I'm in for any of these, anytime. And so we kept going to all the other ones, and we went to Beatles Love in Vegas, and that was a fantastic time.
What about that, Wish.com Cirque show that you went to?
They incorporated me in the show, so I was all in for it. The one at the Puyallup Fairgrounds or the Washington State Fairgrounds, it was like kind of Cirque, but it was more like Cirque du Soleil.
And because you were getting hit on the whole time, right?
Yes, by I don't know if he's like the clown or he was like kind of like the ringmaster or whatever he was. He kept coming over to me and rubbing my head.
Oh my!
And then he
God.
brought me out onto into the aisleway to do like a little hat thing with him where I had to catch the hat on my head, and I did it.
You did it?
And I looked at my wife. I'm like, I bet she got video of that. Turn around. She didn't even have her phone out.
You guys have the memories, though.
Yeah, I had the memory of looking at her, and she just had this look of pure embarrassment.
I'd love the memory of someone beating Steve Migs coming up next. And if you were listening to the men's room yesterday at 5:40, that could be very helpful because I gave out 3 of the correct answers on the cheat sheet. He is currently 312 wins, 93 losses, and 55 ties in 2024. 206-803-ROCK. We will play Beat Migs at 7:50.
The Daily Migs Show.
I'm Lindsey Graham, host of Wondery's show American Scandal. We bring to life some of the biggest controversies in U.S. history: presidential lies, environmental disasters, corporate fraud. In our latest series, entrepreneur Lou Pearlman becomes the mastermind behind 2 of the biggest pop groups in the world, the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. He also oversees a sprawling business empire that includes a charter jet company, restaurants, and real estate. But Perlman's successful facade crumbles after he's sued by the boy bands for siphoning millions from them. And soon, investigators discover that Perlman is keeping his empire afloat through an even more devious scheme. Follow American Scandal on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. Experience all episodes ad-free and be the first to binge the newest seasons only on Wondery Plus. You can join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Start your free trial today.
Got a hot and heavy holiday on your mind? Lovers has the perfect pleasure presents with early Black Friday deals that will get you off the naughty list this year. Save up to 60% on the sexiest holiday gifts. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Every industry, every job site, any challenge. Purple Wave's upcoming December 5th construction auction has the Caterpillar equipment to tackle it all. We make it easy to connect, inspect, and bid, ensuring you can find the right equipment that's ready to go to work for you. The equipment is ready to inspect at our partner Copart's yard in your area. Bidding ends December 5th at purplewave.com. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment. purplewave.com.
Black Friday week is here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the home, like vacuums, bedding, and home decor. You'll have money left over for those sweet handbells you've had your eye on. Or that standing mixer to whip up some holiday cookies. Oh, what fun it is to save. Black Friday week is here with deals up to 35% off.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Brad from Port Orchard is. Brad, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Brad, were you listening to the men's room around 5:40 yesterday by chance?
I was, but I didn't hear the three clues.
Oh, no.
That's totally fine. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. Don't even worry about it.
It's an even playing field now.
That's cheating anyway.
Thank you. I'm
All
glad
right.
that you have integrity.
Oh, Steve, it is time for you to get out of here.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Brad has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes.
The band Hanson are a group of how many brothers?
2.
No.
3.
Correct. The movie Wicked is a prequel to which classic movie?
Snow White.
No.
Pass.
Which country is known as the land of white elephants?
White elephant. Pass.
What funny girl actress has cloned her dog twice?
Barbara Streisand.
Correct. In the game of bingo, which number is represented by the phrase two little ducks?
0.
No.
1.
No.
Pass.
In which film did father and son actors Will and Jaden Smith first appear together?
I can't remember.
Brad. You dropped a deuce.
Oh, boy.
I did.
You sure did. And every time I think of dropping a deuce, I think of Taryn.
Oh, thank you.
That's the score you got. Your very first time.
Yeah.
Beating Migs or trying to.
I still want another shot at it one of these days.
You don't deserve a shot after that performance.
Wow.
I just remember he serves me correct. You only had 2 right.
The first time. The second time I got 4.
Okay.
See? Progress. Steve, are you ready?
Yes.
The band Hanson are a group of how many brothers?
3.
Correct. The movie Wicked is a prequel to which classic movie?
Oh, I just recently figured this out, and it blew my mind.
Really?
Wizard of Oz.
Yes. Oh, my.
It took me forever to figure that out.
Which country is known as the land of white elephants?
The land of white America.
No. I wish.
Which country?
Yes.
Africa?
No.
China.
No. What funny girl actress has cloned her dog twice?
What's her name? Nikki Glazer?
No.
I think she's funny. I don't know. Funny girl. Tina Fey.
No.
Amy Poehler.
No. In the game of bingo, which number is represented by the phrase two little ducks?
Oh my gosh. 4?
No.
6?
Ooh, no.
2?
No. In which film did father and son actors Will and Jaden Smith first appear together?
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Correct. The Bengals are an NFL team from what city?
Cincinnati.
You
and
know
they're playing
it.
tonight.
Ooh, Steve.
I wouldn't know.
That wasn't great, but you did get 4 correct, which was actually double Brad's score.
Yes.
So that is a win, 4-2.
Damn it.
Sorry, Brad.
I'm the best. I'm the best.
I don't want to tell anyone what to do, but maybe you both should have listened to that cheat sheet because it really would have helped y'all. The country known as the land of white elephants.
Thailand.
Correct, on the cheat sheet. One that Brad did.
That's why you knew it.
Yeah. So smart over here.
The one that Brad knew that you didn't. What funny girl actress has cloned her dog twice?
I just saw it at the Paramount. Barbara Streisand.
Oh.
Which is weird to me, but people do what they're going to do.
It's okay. My answer is going to be Zooey Deschanel, but that's New Girl, not Funny Girl.
Oh.
Good show. I'm like, I don't even know what is Funny Girl, a television show?
No, it's a musical.
No, I know that now because I remember you telling us about it. But.
And you were on the right track. In the game of bingo, which number is represented by the phrase two little ducks? You said 2, but there's 2 2s, 2 little ducks.
4?
Oh, my gosh.
22.
Oh.
You did not deserve to win after what you just said there.
Well, what's 2 plus 2?
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta leave or something.
I didn't know I was going to get bingo shame today on The Rock.
Yeah, you are. But somehow you still won, so congrats.
Rockaholics, we would love for you to join us at Live Night, which is happening December 13th at Showbox Soto, where we are up on the stage and you get to kick it with us. You could even play Beat Migs in the audience.
We'll be playing B-Migs a couple of times. Also, we're going to do Hook or Shook, a special ukulele edition version of it with our friend Micah the Beast from Me, My Uke, and I. But the greatest thing ever is that the greatest offensive lineman, greatest player for the Seahawks, well, up there, but member of the Hall of Fame, member of the Ring of Honor, Walter Jones, Big Walt himself, is going to be joining us, and possibly some other surprise guests as well.
The Men's Room are going to do their show live, and you can be part of it by getting tickets at KISW.com. A member of this show went to a concert, which led you to feeling a certain way about it, Steve Migs.
And it has nothing to do with the artist that they went to see, but I don't know if I could go to concerts anymore after seeing what I saw.
Oh, wow.
On their Instagram stories.
You will find out why Steve feels this way after Soundgarden.
The Daily Migs Show.
Sarah, you did something crazy last night. You went out on a school night.
I know. I saw your stories. It was like date night, and there's you and George all dolled up. I'm like, what the hell's going on a freaking Wednesday?
Well, first, we went to the lovely restaurant of Denny's.
Yeah, romance.
We've been in the middle of a massive argument behind the scenes on our show because 3 of the 4 members of the show think that's awesome.
Yes, and one does
And the
not.
other one's stupid, Danny.
But it was funny because I was posting the date night, and I posted us at Denny's, and everyone was like, that's your date night going to Denny's.
I thought that was all you were doing last night. I was like, I don't know why, but I absolutely love that you guys went out to go to Denny's.
Which is so something I would do.
Dressed up.
Right. But I actually ended up dragging my husband to a concert at Showbox Sodo for a...
No, don't say the name.
Oh, okay.
I want to see if... Taryn, can you pronounce this name?
Blixt.
Okay. Danny, can you pronounce this name?
Yeah, I just thought it was Blast.
Blast? I was like, Blaxt?
Danny would be correct.
Blast.
It's just Blast, but instead of an A, there's an X.
Because he's hardcore.
Edgy.
Yeah, it's like, when Kesha had instead of an S, the $sign.
Yeah. Well, that made more sense. At least it looked like the letter S.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, it's just Blast.
Okay.
Blast with an X.
Who am I to tell him what to do with all the money that he's making with the name that I can't pronounce?
Yeah, I turned Taryn on to this when we went to San Diego. Yeah. We listened to this song way too many times in our hotel room.
Well, I saw you at the concert, and I don't care about his music.
Do not.
No disrespect. I mean, but it's fine. But there was something going on in that concert that was just kind of hurting my brain, and I don't know if you know what it was.
I have a guess because it was hurting George's brain.
It was driving me insane, and I'm like, I don't know if I could go to a concert anymore if this is what we're doing at concerts. I know it's been an age-old argument. Do you think? What do you think it is?
I am going to guess the amount of phones that were filming.
I don't know if you watched her Instagram stories.
I did, but I guess I wasn't paying attention to that part.
I could not stop looking at that. And I mean, I usually don't get too worked up about people pulling out their cell phones. I'm like, I get it. We have phones in our pockets and we all want to remember things and take the pictures, take all the moments. I get that. But there's every post that you posted, every single person is holding their cell phone up in the air and filming.
Including Sarah.
Weird.
Okay.
Right.
I only did it for like 3 or 4 of his songs, but there was one guy that had 2 phones, and almost the entire show, both of his arms must be sorted A because they were both up.
Oh, I was hoping one was on the concert and the other one was on him so he could have an instant reaction video of him like kind of enjoying it, and then he edits it together for a YouTube page that has 4 subscribers.
Well, I mean, I will not even tell you how many women were with a group of friends and they were like, okay, have the flashlight with your phone and then film me dancing. So it was like all staged.
So this is just one giant Instagram stories op for everybody.
Yes. And I was in front of 2 girls at one point, and one of the girls was taller than me. And she was filming literally almost the entire I watched part of the show through her phone.
Okay, question. Very important. Did you twerk?
I twerked a little on George for sure. He didn't love it.
How was George throughout this?
George is being a very, very good sport.
He's being a good husband.
He luckily actually likes this artist. It's a little bit more chill than Throw That Booty Back. So there wasn't a lot of that necessarily.
Is that the Pearl Jam song?
Throw that booty back.
I remember when Eddie sang that.
But yeah, I think he was very happy that it was over literally at 10 p.m.
That's the thing that I'm so excited about for you is that you look rested because that was an early show.
It was early, but my problem was George. We got home. George fell asleep in 2 seconds. Me, I'm literally rewatching all of my videos.
Good thing you filmed all of those videos.
I was reliving them. I watched my Instagram story like 5 times already this morning, just with pure joy.
I've never seen that many people holding up cell phones in my entire life. It was a sea of cell phones. Go to your Instagram if people want to see it.
Yeah, I literally wrote and look at how many cameras are out.
Crazy.
It was so I was like, oh my gosh, if I was at this concert and this was an artist that I was a fan of, which I'm not, but if I was, I would be so annoyed because I would, at some point I'm like, okay, can we all just agree to put our phones down? I think you got enough video footage. It's like when people film fireworks. It's like, okay, you got it. I get it. But do you have to spend the entire time filming it?
It's going to look like crap, the fireworks, for sure.
And the concert footage is probably, I mean, honestly, like your videos were a sea of cameras, and then you could see 2 dudes wrapping up on stage a little bit.
Well, and then I felt bad because, it was an all ages show, and I'm like not tall really, but there were so many shorter people than me, and I was like, they really can't see anything.
Oh no.
It was great though.
Also, I am blown away that the show was done by 10 10 o'clock.
I would go out on the weeknights way more if I could guarantee that.
Why aren't rock bands doing that?
Right? Like, let's take a note from Blast.
I've been to one, and it was Alkaline Trio, and I was in bed by 10:15. Oh. And I was like, what is this? I was like, was it daylight savings? What's happening?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Let's do more of that, please. Netflix has released a new trailer for the upcoming season of Stranger Things. Many are excited for the new season, including me, but others have some opinions to share.
Including me.
So we're going to go straight to the comments at 8:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet and the not-so-secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout experience as business powerhouses like Aloe, Allbirds, and Skims. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Everyone knows social media is a time suck. And what you're about to hear proves it. If it's online, someone, somewhere, has an opinion and is whining about it. So let's get straight to the comments.
Yesterday was Stranger Things Day, which, by the way, I was today years old when I learned that there is a Stranger Things Day.
I don't even know what that means.
And I'm a fan of the show, so I don't know. Apparently,
I watched the first season, and that's it.
Well, apparently, the first season, when Will Byers goes missing, it's November 6th of 1983. So that is why every year on November 6th, we apparently celebrate Stranger Things Day. So in celebration of this day, yesterday, Netflix released a teaser for how the show's fifth and final season is going to go.
And I saw I was like, okay, let me just see what the teaser's all about, because people were kind of posting about it. The funny thing is, it's just the theme song.
It's just the theme song.
And words. Names of the episodes. The Turnbow Trap. Sorcerer. Shock Jock. Oh, that could be a good one.
Tune into that for
Escape from Kamazats. The Bridge. Wow. And The Right Side Up.
It gives absolutely no footage of anything that they have filmed.
No, it's just words and the logo of the show.
That is so dumb.
I know. If you're a fan, you're like, oh, man, here we go. And then it's just the music and a bunch of words. You're like, you just wasted a minute of my life.
Season 5 will premiere sometime in 2025. So many are very excited about this new season, and others have some opinions. So let's go straight to the comments.
Found a few of these comments. We sent them to our production director, Jason, and said, hey, pick out some of your favorite. Do whatever impression you want, just to illustrate how people get worked up over stupid ass on social media. Mm-hmm. Are you ready for the first comment about the upcoming season of Stranger Things?
Get me with it.
What was the point of this trailer?
I mean, just to let us know what the names of the episodes are.
We didn't ask for that. We did not ask for that.
Just give us a little something.
A nugget.
A nugget.
Too late. No one cares anymore.
Those are I hate. I mean, hate's a strong word. But I hate when people go, nobody cares about whatever it is. When then you look and there's like a thread of a bunch of people who clearly care because they're commenting on it. So maybe you don't care, but say
You don't speak for everyone.
I get worked up over this.
You don't speak for everyone.
I was literally about to agree with this commenter.
That is a very Sarah comment.
I mean, I've seen
You narcissist, you think just you don't care that nobody cares?
Yes. Have
Okay.
you met me?
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it, but I'm like, wow, they're still doing another season. Aren't we kind of over this?
Have you watched all the seasons?
I have.
This is the final season, Sarah. This is the conclusion.
It should have ended after season 4. It's been too long.
This is season 5.
I know.
But season 4 wrapped up in 2022, so we're like 3 years.
It's been so long, right? I
How
forgot
old
about
are these
it.
kids now?
Well, that's the other thing, Steve, is apparently this new season, they are like time traveling to like 1987 a little bit.
That's how they cover the fact that they're
They're
not
all grown adults
they're
now.
not children anymore.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Don't show me another ad until it's 2025. One of the worst moves this show makes is how long it takes between seasons. Better have an amazing recap before the first episode.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I have forgotten almost everything that happened.
Sometimes
in
quality
season 4.
takes time, you guys. Why am I defending a show I stopped watching after the first season?
Hey, you know what? If it's not coming out until sometime in 2025, you have time to catch up on the other 3
I
seasons.
guarantee you that's not going to happen.
I stopped watching after season 1. Show sucks now.
How do you
Steve
know that the
Migs.
show sucks if you haven't watched it? I love people on social media.
This show is still a thing? That's so 5 years ago.
No, it's actually so 1983, but you know.
All right, we got one more.
They take too long for new seasons that the kids on the show are now pushing 40. LOL.
Just like Sarah.
Ouch.
There's a rental car company that just charged a guy $10,000 because he drove 25,000 miles in 1 month, even with unlimited mileage. We're going to tell you all about it during What's Trending after Foo Fighters.
The Daily Migs Show.
We know that many of our rockaholics are just waking up and getting the morning going and trying to make sense of the world of pop culture because there's so much going on out there. So we're here to break it down for you and tell you what's trending.
Trending on the Daily Migs Show. What's trending? Let's go. Let's go.
Yesterday, Vice President Kamala Harris conceded the election to Donald Trump. She called him up and then gave a 12-minute speech to her supporters at Howard University. Here is some of what she said.
And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history, true of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service.
I always wish I thought her concession speech was great. I'm a sucker for a good concession speech. I know that sounds weird, but whenever the elections happen, I always look forward to seeing how somebody handles losing in such it's a tough thing. And I think more often than not, they're always great. I mean, one of my favorites was, remember when John McCain lost to Obama?
Yes.
And I remember he did like the concession speech, and then he mentioned how he was conceding to Barack Obama, and then people started booing, and that just happened because it's his supporters. And he just looked at everyone and kind of did that settle down.
Yeah.
And then they tried booing again, and he did the settle down thing, and then I was like, man, that's a classy move on his part.
For sure.
The speeches are cool. I wish they would just record the phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to hear the phone calls. I love when, the Seahawks make a draft pick and they call the kid and then, there's that awkward conversation. I feel like this would just be on a whole other level.
New phone, who dis?
Yeah. Who is this? And you are? I just ran against you for president. Yeah, it's not ringing a bell. I got things to do. I got to get ready to run the country. I got to go. Bye. Oh, man, this is a strange story that happened, and this guy's going viral on TikTok. He went and rented a car through Hertz Rent-A-Car, and they tried to charge him $10,000. Even though he had unlimited miles on his contract, they're like, look, you drove 25,000 miles, which is a lot of miles, but if you have unlimited miles, isn't that the whole point? Well, anyways, he got into a big argument with someone who worked there. The dude who was trying to, handle it, the one that's being dinged for the 10 grand, he recorded himself having this conversation, and here's how it sounded.
You're going to charge this to $10,000 to my credit.
Yes.
When this literally, that's not even allowed. But I never signed.
Show me where it says I can't charge it.
It literally says to refer to this if there's anything extra. I've never signed anything saying that I could only go 100 miles a day or anything like that, or that I would have to pay more.
Right. But you also never, like you said earlier,
you just agreed, right? I never have signed that.
You never signed anything that's in that. But you also never signed anything saying we allowed you to drive 25,000 miles.
No, unlimited is 100,000 miles.
No, it is not.
I would look at a guy, I can't do this anymore. I can't have this conversation. You ever get into an argument with someone in customer service and you're just like, are we speaking the same language?
Yeah. I'm just going to walk away.
I guess eventually they did apologize for the situation once they probably heard what happened.
I mean, what was the guy doing 25,000 miles in 1 month? That's almost 1,000 miles a day.
Well, he must be commuting from Stanwood to Seattle every day.
So relatable. Rockaholics, it is that time of the morning where we need someone to try and take down Steve Migs. And he has a record of 313 wins, 93 losses, and 55 ties in 2024. 206-803-ROCK. We play Beat Migs at 8:50.
The Daily Migs Show.
Jim was at the laundromat when he heard... His ear said, Maraca, senor, but his nose said, hey, freshest scent ever. Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing. You could call them scent maracas, but most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads, way fresher than detergent alone.
Every industry, every job site, any challenge. Purple Wave's upcoming December 5th construction auction has the Caterpillar equipment to tackle it all. We make it easy to connect, inspect, and bid, ensuring you can find the right equipment that's ready to go to work for you. The equipment is ready to inspect at our partner Copart's yard in your area. Bidding ends December 5th at purplewave.com. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment. purplewave.com.
Looking to turn up the heat in your relationship this holiday? Lovers has the perfect pleasure presents with early Black Friday deals that are as nice or as naughty as you are. Save up to 60% on the sexiest holiday gifts. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Black Friday week is here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday electronic gifts, like monitors, tablets, and video games. You'll have money left over for that drum set for your little drummer. And some noise-canceling headphones. Or an outdoor speaker system so the entire neighborhood can hear your holiday tunes. Oh, what fun it is to save. Black Friday week is here with deals up to 35% off.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Sean from Seattle is. Sean, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Sean has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Mount Vesuvius is located in what European country?
Europe.
No.
Venezuela.
No.
Peru.
No. How many months have only 30 days?
8.
No.
6.
No.
7.
No. Who played the title character in the 2016 movie Doctor Strange?
Michael J. Fox.
No.
Pass.
According to Greek mythology, who was the first woman on Earth?
Adonis.
No.
Aquarius.
No.
Bette Midler.
No. What ice cream company just released a flavor made with brie and burrata?
Ben & Jerry's.
No. Ooh, Sean. I can't even say you're number one because you got none correct.
Oh, man.
That was a little rough, wasn't it?
Really rough. Early morning.
I wish that Sean had the phone a friend ability because Mike Hawk was playing along from the studio next door and looked like he had a couple of the right answers over there.
Was Mike killing it?
Mike was crushing it.
Yeah. Maybe Mike and Sean should have been partners there. But Steve.
Yes.
You still have your work cut out for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Mount Vesuvius is located in what European country?
I'm going to say Greece.
No.
France.
No.
Italy.
Yes. How many months have only 30 days?
How many months? 3.
No.
4.
Correct. Who played the title character in the 2016 movie Doctor Strange?
Is that Benedict Cumberbatch?
It is.
Yes.
According to Greek mythology, who was the first woman on Earth? It is quite a good name.
Would that be Eve?
No.
What was the question?
According to Greek mythology, who was the first woman on Earth?
Venus.
No.
Pandora.
Yes. What ice cream company just released a flavor made with brie and burrata?
What ice cream company? Salt and Straw?
No.
What ice cream? Ben & Jerry's.
No.
Briars.
No. Serena Williams won which major tournament while pregnant with her first child?
Wimbledon.
No.
The Masters.
No.
Grand Slam.
No. What band had the mid-90s song What I Got?
Sublime.
Yes. Whew, that was a little painful for me. I was like, this is the longest minute of my existence. Wow. But Steve, you ended up with some lucky guesses, getting 5 correct, which is a win, 5-0. Sorry,
Sean, what happened?
Oh, I just had the best morning ever.
Okay.
Good answer.
I don't remember last time we had a shutout.
I can't either, honestly.
It's been at least a year.
What about this? What if Sean is just a Steve Migs super fan and just wanted to make you feel really good?
Or like a plant. Like I actually knew him. I'm like, hey, calling at 8:50. Don't answer anything right. I just want to feel good today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and somehow getting 0, he still had the best morning ever. So that's great.
That's positivity right there.
The sun's out.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I was like, wait, anything more? What ice cream company just released a flavor made with brie and burrata?
I'm just going to guess Baskin Robbins.
And you would be correct.
Boom.
It sounds absolutely disgusting to me, but I'm very curious about it.
More
it
often
sounds
than
delicious.
Not, when somebody comes up with a flavor that sounds ridiculous or just kind of like, what the hell? It typically tastes good.
I love brie and I love burrata, so I'm in.
In ice cream form?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Field trip. Serena Williams won which major tournament while pregnant with her first child?
The French Open?
Close.
The U.S. Open.
Okay, what's the other one?
The Fun
From
Open.
Down Under.
The Australian Open.
There we go. Well, you really beat Sean, so congrats.
Thank you.
For the last couple of weeks, Danny and Steve, their fantasy football team, has come in dead last.
We have had a bad run. I think 3 straight weeks.
Yeah. We've been playing with the men's room. Will it happen again this week? We will fact check everything with the commissioner of the league, Mike Hawk, who is playing along, by the way, with all of Beat Migs from the men's room after Bon Jovi.
The Daily Migs Show.
The Seahawks may be struggling a little bit this year, but not quite as much as Danny and Steve in fantasy football.
Well, there is a little bit of a correlation since most of the players on our team are from your Seattle Seahawks.
And we've been playing fantasy football all season long versus the men's room. And the commissioner of our league is Mike Hawk, who joins us now from the men's room.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, everybody. How are we all feeling today?
I think I'm feeling good because, did we play Jackson Smith and Jigba? I guess I should have asked you off the air.
Yes, we did.
That was a good call.
You did.
You made a good choice.
So I think we did okay.
You did. You guys did not end up on the bottom of the pile this week. I'm going to put that out there right now.
We almost won, Steve.
Few great showings in the fantasy league this week with the Daily Migs teams putting it to the men's room teams.
We're back.
Men's are both lost this week. I'm just going to put it out there.
Suck it.
But the big story here, and she's dancing already, because after 8 grueling weeks of fighting their way back from the bottom of the pile, the touchdown tacos. Taryn Daly. Ooh, Sarah.
And George.
Finally take the top pedestal.
And George.
And George. Yeah. Finally take the top pedestal as winners of this week, effectively breaking the winning streak of my own Big Black Hawks. A great showing by Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones of all quarterbacks, which, as we've said, we drafted all of the worst quarterbacks to start with, so that wasn't even your guys' player of choice, and he actually put up really great points for you. And Travis Kelce with a clutch performance Monday night that put him ahead of the Bowie Buddies for the week. As Danny said, you guys almost won it. Sarah was sweating. She needed a good showing by Travis Kelce, and it came
I hope
out.
he chokes on Taylor Swift's leg.
Oh, wow.
I think anyone would want to choke on her leg.
Oh, I'm going to be jealous while it happens.
Me too.
On the other side of the scoreboard, the Bowie Buddies turned things around for the week to take it to 90 pounds of D, who were the only ones that did not break 100 points for this week, which does make them this week's bottom of the barrel team. And as we're doing all season long, one of the two coaches, which would be Thrill or Ted, I believe it's Thrill this time around, will be coming onto the Daily Mix program at some point in the next 2 days to come on and do a segment.
I believe he's going to join us tomorrow morning as we do Hook or Shook with the mighty Thrill.
He's pretty good at music, so whoever's going to be partnered up with him, I would imagine, has a pretty good edge with Thrill coming in here.
Oh, yeah. I feel like he's Mr. Music Trivia Knowledge.
He is. So go deep cuts on this one. I don't know how much control you guys have on this one. Go deep cuts. Just
Danny's
really
got
test
all
this
the
man.
power right there.
It is. Key players of the week came from Garrett Wilson of the Jets, who was on the Big Black Hawks and rode my doggone bench this week, leaving 30 points off the board.
Now, was that by accident, or did you just not think he was going to do well?
I had a couple of players from the Eagles. I had a couple of players from the Jets, and I left Garrett Wilson off. He was not projected to do terribly well. The Texans are rated decently high against the Jets as far as that capacity goes, so I thought it was a safe choice to leave him on the bench. It wasn't. Aaron Rodgers went off and just gave it to him every time.
I have a big question for this upcoming week because this weekend, obviously, there's a lot of football games going on. There's one team that's not playing.
That's a fact.
So they won't lose, and that's your Seattle Seahawks. Danny, I believe like 80% of our team are on the Seattle Seahawks.
Are we supposed to change that?
Are we screwed? Are we a guaranteed loss?
No, just kidding, Steve. I've already done the work, and we're good to go.
He did come up to me yesterday. He was like, "I have a question. Like, if we get if our kicker's going to be out, do I just put him on the waiver wire and get rid of it? Does it just that puts him out for anybody to grab him? Yes, it does.
This all happened at the urinals.
Oh my God.
That's where we do all of our moving and shaking.
Yeah, I really needed help with
Fantasy
that, so-
conversations at the urinal.
Fantasy chat at the urinal.
Second place as far as key players was Saquon Barkley, just shy of 33 points. But the top player
Was that
this
the dude
week,
that hopped over somebody?
Yes.
That's Sarah's boyfriend.
Yeah, that is my man. I watched that clip 800 times. I sent it to Mike in case he missed it because he was like, I'm jealous of Saquon.
We are living in a weird universe where Sarah cares about professional football.
she's on it now, man.
Right? Like, she'll come in on Mondays and be like, did you guys see the game between blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah? I'm like, no, why would I watch that game? She's like, well, I have 4 guys on that fantasy football team, so I had to watch it.
But your top player of the week, in spite of his home team blowing it in overtime, Jackson Smith and Jigba, the top player of the week for the Bowie Buddies, comes out on top with a career game of 37 points for you guys.
He could have had probably over 40 points if some of those... let's not talk about that.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one. As far as next week, should be another interesting week as the top and bottom of the week go head-to-head. Touchdown Tacos against 90 pounds of D, and then the Bowie Buddies against me and the Big Black Hawks. We are in the last 5 weeks of the regular season of fantasy, guys. 5 weeks left, and then we get to the playoffs.
See, we're only as good as your last game, and we are unstoppable.
Well, thank you, Mr. Commissioner, for joining us this morning, Mike Hawk of the Men's Room.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Rockaholics, we know that you are a massive music fan, but do you think you could name a song after only hearing 1 second from the chorus? Prove it. And if so, you will win tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the Lost Christmas Eve tour at Climate Pledge Arena coming up Saturday, November 23rd. And all week long, it's more than just tickets. It's tickets in the first 5 rows with our ticket countdown. Today's winner will receive second row tickets.
Nice.
206-803-ROCK. We will play Hook or Shook at 9:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and the not-so-secret secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned, and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout experience as business powerhouses like Aloe, Allbirds, and Skims. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Gain presents a tale of longing and long-lasting scent. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Add Gain scent beads for an even longer lasting scent.
All morning, we have received texts and calls from you, but we have not yet had a chance to chat with everyone. But the time has come. We are checking in with the Rockaholics, so give us a call if you'd like to chime in on anything from this morning, or if you have something on your mind that you'd like to discuss. 206-803-ROCK. Within the last couple of weeks, we were talking about it might be a new time for us as we may be able to take time off for pets when they're sick. Mm-hmm. Remember that chat?
Yes.
Well, Daniel in DuPont would like to weigh in on this. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning. So, last week on Wednesday, I had to call in because my dog was having some really bad stomach issues and just required a lot of close monitoring and cleanup. So I called in and, told my boss about it. He's like, go ahead, take some time off. So he gave me that day, and then I also took some sick time because on Monday I had a pre-planned vet appointment for the same dog. And so I took time off for that as well.
I mean, they're members of the family, you know? You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Well, thanks,
Daniel. And I'm the only one there at the house, so I can't just leave my poor boy alone and just messing in his crate all day. That is not fun.
Yeah, that would not be fun at all.
No, that'd be not fun for them, but also not fun when you get home and that's what you got going on.
You spend all day outside with the hose going, cleaning it up. No, thank you.
We got a good text message just came in. Got a spin on an earlier conversation that you guys had about albums, where we were talking about what's that one album that you've listened to the most in your entire life. And they said, well, what's the most, what would you say is your most played current album? This person said, for me, it's Warp Speed Warriors from Dragon Force. I listen to it all the time. It's an epic musical journey.
That's a good choice. I mean, Dragon Force is like some of the fastest guitar playing you'll ever hear in your life.
It's like Guitar Hero on like crack. Yeah. What about you? What album are you listening to a lot right now?
Oh, man, that's a good question. There's a guy named Kurt Vile, and I listened to his...
didn't he just do Bumbershoot?
He did play Bumbershoot, and he's playing with the Pixies next year. But he has this song from, I can't remember the name of the album. Now I'm going to screw it up. But anyway, he's got a song called Pretty Pimpin', and I love that song. And whatever album that is on is the album I've been listening to a lot
Pretty
lately.
Pimpin'?
Pretty Pimpin'.
That's hilarious.
Yes. It's a great song. I just can't remember the album. I think it's called like Believe I'm Going Down or something like that.
I pulled up mine because I think Daniel will appreciate this. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to like steal Danny's thunder, but I listened to this album I'd say at least not every day, but almost every single day, especially at the gym. It's a brand new MXPX record. Find a Way Home.
I love these drums. I love a punk rock gallop.
The guitars, everything, the vocals. This album is freaking amazing.
Probably one of their best, honestly.
It's my favorite, and I've gone back to listen to a bunch of their other stuff because I've just fallen in love with this album so much, and this song's called Not Today.
Not Today. And when did they release this?
It was last year. But
hey, sometimes it takes me a while to get to something.
It's still their new album.
Call that current.
Yeah. It's so good, and honestly, like it came out last year. Same with the Blink album, and between the new Blink album and this album, I'm sure that my Apple Music roundup at the end of the year is just going to be like these two fighting for number one.
Yeah, my number one will be Peppa Pig, the Halloween album, probably, and then number two is probably going to be MXPX.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Mike Carrero. It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Mike!
Happy birthday!
Yeah. Great guys too.
Now that Danny's just hanging out with them all the time.
We all got to hang out with Tom, the guitarist at Metallica, and that was pretty awesome.
At my house, we have recently been teaching our son how to spell. Well, I shouldn't say we. I mean, he's learning it at kindergarten. We're just helping along.
You know, I wasn't going to question you. You could have just owned it.
By we, I mean his kindergarten teacher is teaching him how to spell. And he spelled an interesting word last night, Steve Migs. You need to hear it, as it is epic.
Let's go.
We'll give you all the details at 9:50.
The Daily Migs Show.
Every single day, Barrett gets off the school bus from kindergarten, and we learn what he is learning at school. And it just never...
Wait,
it never stops amazing me.
Does he actually tell you what he's learning at school? Because I'll be like, Tatum, how was your day at school? She's like, good. I'm like, well, what'd you do? I don't know. And then 7 hours later, she talks for 15 minutes about what she did. I'm like, where was this when I asked you?
So one thing that's helpful is he comes home with a folder every day, and inside of the folder is usually some activity sheet or something that they've been working on. So that always gives me a little bit of a window into the world, and then we can talk about it.
Wow, you guys both have better children than mine. Wait till she gets an attitude or he gets an attitude, and they come home and you say, what did you do at school today? Stuffing things.
Great.
Ate lunch.
So what did you do? What was your favorite part? Lunch. Cool talk, kid.
Right? I'll remember this when you want to have a conversation with me when I'm trying to watch the Seahawks game.
But one thing they have been working on in his classroom is sounding out letters and building words and actually being able to read 3-letter words and put together 3-letter words, which is very impressive.
So you have to hear apple.
Yep. All that. It's so fun. So that's what we've been doing. And last night we were doing this little activity, and he ended up spelling a very interesting word. Okay, now put them together in the right order. What does that spell?
Tag.
Tag, you're it.
Okay.
Okay, now how about mad?
No, I'm going to spell the ones I want to.
Okay, you spell the ones you want to.
He's like, I don't got time for you and your mad.
Yeah, right.
I already gave you tag. Stop being a nag.
Now he's going rogue.
All right, so this is going to be good.
D-I.
Am I hearing that correctly?
You are.
Is he a fan of the restaurant? The fries, the deluxe.
What is it?
Wait, so he corrected
Then
himself?
he recovered at the end and started saying disc.
Did he know that what he was saying was when you're referring to it as a hamburger joint, it's fine, but maybe
a restaurant.
Yeah, he's just a fan of the deluxe.
D-I-C.
Duh-ick. That was so great.
He was so proud of himself, you guys.
I'm proud of
and
him.
I was trying not to laugh.
So wait, the word was disc?
No! No, the word
he turned
was
it into that.
D-I-C.
I thought we could have just gone with mad, dog.
No, he picked a way better word.
Oh, my God, every time.
Of all the letters he pulled out, that's what he went with.
It was pretty cute. I mean, he wasn't wrong. He
No.
sounded it out right.
Tell him to go back to the teacher and show what he learned.
She would love that.
It's not a little different, but I still, to this day, I mean, she's gotten better at it, but I don't know about you, but sometimes when kids are trying to pronounce things and they're saying things that are not right, and they're pretty much a curse word. Like, for the longest time, Tatum could not pronounce clock properly.
Oh.
For some reason, she would just leave out the letter L. And she would talk about it all the time because we have a large clock on a wall. And so she'd be like, look at that big clock, but without the L. And then look at the big clock.
Oddly enough, Sarah does that every morning when she walks into the studio, and it gets really bad.
We had that with fork, but he would leave the R out.
That's a good
when he
one.
was little. That was a classic.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of D D-I-C. The drunk in charge, Ryan Castle. The drunk in charge, Ryan Castle, will be joining us for the Daily Migs download after Marcy Playground.
The Daily Mix Show. Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
Barrett calls him the D-I-C.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan Castle is here.
Perfect.
Good morning, Ryan.
Yeah. It's you guys, kids and profanity. It's great.
What profanity? What are you talking about? He's a fan of a burger establishment.
Yeah, I do like that place too.
They got the best deluxes. Deluxe.
It's really the sauce that makes it.
Okay, now we've gone too far. Okay. All right, the DMD is brought to you by Palace Law, and this story is of one. It only happens in Florida. There's a guy named Emmanuel who's just arrested because, well, he decided to punch a horse.
Oh.
I bet the horse had it coming.
Not just any horse, but a police horse. Right after the Georgia-Florida football game that happened over the weekend, I guess the officers were trying to maintain order after the game when Emmanuel just walked up to them and punched the horse square in the face. They don't know why. I mean, Georgia beat Florida 34-20, so maybe he's a Florida Gators fan, and he was just so mad at the horse.
And then he was like, why the long face?
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Ryan, you're just being
A traveler named Ahmad posted a video of a raccoon dangling from the ceiling at LaGuardia Airport in New York City. The critter was spotted in that terminal that is used by Spirit Airlines and Frontier Airlines. Passengers were screaming and running away as the animal dropped to the floor, and then alarms began to sound. You know, a dangerous raccoon is on the loose. TSA security at the checkpoint, the man unsuccessfully tried to trap the raccoon in a garbage can. And then a Port Authority representative said that the animal was eventually captured and released outside.
And of course, it has to be at the discount airline terminal. Right. It's got to be Spirit and Frontier. This isn't going to happen with the Alaska folks.
I did see someone said, I don't know why, but it just makes the story so much better that it happened at Frontier Airlines.
He was late for his flight.
All right, so what's the most chaotic or craziest thing you've seen while at an airport? I ask because the last time I went to Dallas, when we were coming back from the radio convention over a year ago, I was talking to the TSA guy because he just yelled, okay, everybody, just as a reminder, pets don't go through the X-ray.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, excuse me? Has that happened? He goes, oh, yeah, babies, too. I was like, what? Somebody put their child in a bin and try to put it through like that X-ray thing that you put your shoes and your laptop through.
I mean, the most chaotic thing I've seen at the airport is probably the drunk in charge, Ryan Castle.
I was going to say it was probably Mean Miles and Thrill on the way to Sacramento.
Was it that bad?
No, I'm just assuming.
I mean, he's a fun person to have airport beers with, for sure.
Were you guys acting like...
Plural.
Ryan, do you know about the exploding whale debacle that happened back in 1970?
Oh, yeah, it's big news.
Yeah, apparently now this entire month is being called Exploding Whale Month. They're celebrating it in Florence, Oregon, where it all happened. It happened on November 12th, 1970, and that's when they took all these giant explosives. They had a dead whale on the beach, all these giant explosives. They just stuffed it in the whale and set it off thinking, oh, this won't be that bad of a thing. But it was so bad that the carcass and like these giant parts landed on cars.
People got hurt, right?
Dude, bad.
Yeah.
In fact, we do have the news report from back in the day, and here it is how it sounded.
I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing so the scavengers, seagulls, and crabs and whatnot can clean it up. Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
And this video is on YouTube, and you see the car. The car looks like a giant tree just like landed on top of the roof.
Yeah. And also, audio's come a long way since 1970.
What are you talking about? That sounded smooth like butter.
Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast.
There's a guy from Happy Valley, Oregon named Gary Christensen. He just set a new Guinness World Record for the longest journey by pumpkin boat after paddling 45.67 miles down the Columbia River in a 1,000-pound hollowed-out pumpkin. This was a record-breaking journey, which took place mostly in the dark after his support boat's lights failed. But now he's the leader of the world.
How many pumpkin seeds were in that thing?
Oh my gosh. Can't even imagine.
Got to be famous for something.
There you go. Thursday Night Football tonight, 5:15 on Amazon. I have a feeling that the men's room will be pretty hungover tomorrow as your Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. As far as weather, 57 degrees. It's going to be cloudy today. The D&D is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above. And that's what's up.
Ryan Castle is up next with the Morning 12 Pack.
The Daily Migs Show.